you're not my daughter. And I sure as hell ain't your dad.
Here, this make you all nostalgic?
You know, that is actually before my time. That is a winner, though.
Fuck you, man. I told you what you wanted. I ain't telling you shit.
That's all right. I believe him.
No, wait!
You just come after her.
Okay.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Last of Us Spoilercast. And if you couldn't tell by the name, spoilers. So if you haven't beat The Last of Us or haven't heard of The Last of Us, don't listen to this. Beyond this point, it's going to be there's no limitations on what we're talking about here. So, alright, well, The Last of Us. We both finished it, and, well, how much time did you finish it in?
I think somewhere right around 11 hours.
11 hours.
I think.
That sounds like a rush time to me.
Not really.
It does, because
One of our friends finished it in 9.5 hours.
That seems like he didn't take any time.
And he played it on hard.
He didn't take any time to do anything else.
No, he didn't.
That's what I mean. A couple reviewers finished it in like 18 and 20 hours.
I found some stuff that I don't think he.
I looked at a lot of stuff. No, I saw everything. I looked through mostly everything just because I felt like there's a lot of stuff going on in the background. Like, there's a lot of stories being told on the graffiti on the walls, the notes, and in Ellie's backpack was actually a note from her mom.
He can go into her backpack?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's a note from her mom in her backpack, and on the back you can flip it over. It says, "Make me proud." Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you didn't see.
I didn't even know you could get in her backpack.
Yeah. You can get it's when you hit select, it's like with Joel.
Oh, that okay.
That's her backpack.
I'm an idiot. Okay, yeah, I never went into the notes.
So yeah, that's what I mean. Not everyone saw everything.
I never went into the notes. I always just went in there to craft a pack when I was playing as Ellie.
Alright, well, right off the bat, the opening of the game, you cannot talk about the game from start to finish without spoiling something. Because the opening of the game in itself is a spoiler.
Oh my god.
Like, no one knew about, like, this opening is something none of us saw coming.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't expect to see it before, but if we thought if we were going to see it before, it'd be like, a quick flash of fire and people running. Like, a slideshow kind
Yeah,
of
like
thing.
in a dream.
Yeah. But no, we get a fully interactive, 10-minute long prologue,
yeah.
And we figure out why Joel is Joel.
I mean, like you're playing as in the beginning. You're playing as his daughter Sam.
Sarah.
Sarah? They call her Sam.
No, it's Sarah.
That you have the nickname.
No,
Sam.
it's Sarah.
Okay.
They never said Sam.
I swore.
Sarah.
Either way, Sarah. Yeah, you're playing as her, and you can go around. You go around the house because you get a phone call at like 12 at night or something like that. You get a phone call from your uncle telling you to give the phone to Joel, who is nowhere around in the house, and the phone goes dead. So you get up running around and looking for stuff, and you go into the rooms like the bathroom, and you find a newspaper talking about the outbreak.
Yeah, there's a couple of really cool moments in that opening.
Yeah,
like the moment where you're watching the news, there's an explosion, then you look out the window, and an explosion an explosion, or like when you're walking into the living room and you see the cop cars go by.
Yep.
And you pick up the phone, like you
and
see all these missed calls,
and hey, where are you? I'm on my way. From Tommy, who is your brother that you have to go find later in the game.
Yeah, like we get a lot of setup.
Yeah.
In that one. like before we kind of Joel's they've already established Joel as this hard ass hard ass.
Yeah.
He's been living in this apocalypse for about 20 years.
Even before before all the hell breaks loose, it starts off with Joel coming home late at night from work, and Sarah sleeping on the couch.
Yeah,
and it's his birthday.
Yeah, and she gives him a watch.
She gives him a brand new watch.
And there's I think there's like a joke between them about his watch being broken.
Yeah,
I can tell from like the first seconds.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, he's always coming home late at night.
I get it. Yeah, I was like,
so like he might say that hey, I'm gonna be home at this time.
Yeah,
and then
did you read the birthday card?
Oh, I didn't read the
on her
birthday
dresser.
card.
On her dresser, no, it's like you're never around. It's like all this crap, and it says, but you still manage to be the best dad ever, and it's like all this stuff. I'm like, oh great, because everybody, it was so like it wasn't really shocking to see her die, but because we all knew, like you see the cover, look at the cover of the game, and you think this girl's gonna be dead. We all know.
Well, you'll have to.
You have to assume that she's dead.
Yeah, because it's not Sarah who he's with; it's with Ellie.
Yeah, I know. It's like this girl's gonna die, but you don't know when.
Mm-hmm.
And
or how.
Yeah. And then it's like you get out of the house. You're playing as Joel now.
Don't just go right automatically out of the house. Joel comes in and tells Ellie if what she's been doing, and he's coming to the house. He grabs a gun and everything.
Then one of the neighbors comes.
And he says that the neighbors are sick, and as soon as he says that, the neighbor runs into the screen door, and then Joel tells Sarah to get behind him, and then the neighbor breaks through the window, and Joel's sitting there telling him, "Man, stop, man! What's wrong with you, man?" And then Joel shoots him, and Sarah's freaked out.
Yeah,
at that point.
I don't think they need a play-by-play of the opening. If they listen to this, they know what happened.
Oh my god, I know. Well, let's hope. Let's hope they're just using this.
No, they won't. They won't do that. To listen to this.
Yeah.
Nah.
But
You go play
that,
the game for yourself.
Yeah, after that, you get in a car with your brother, Joel's brother, Tommy.
Yeah, don't play-by-play, Dale.
I'm telling him the characters.
You're giving him play-by-play. We don't need a play-by-play of what's going on. We know if as I was saying, if you're assuming the people listening to this have already played that sequence, now I'm just trying to discuss it, and we're talking about something that happened. We don't need to tell. We got it.
I like telling a good story, man.
Well, you're talking to the people who already know.
Once upon a time,
Nah.
20 years after the outbreak, was a man named Joel.
Yeah, there was an interesting sequence. That was an interesting sequence.
Yes.
Of like it was a really interesting prologue because no one really saw the prologue coming, like an interactive one, like that.
Oh yeah, I didn't either. I just like I
the
said,
game started.
cinematic. I thought cinematic.
I thought they were gonna throw us right. They're gonna give us a little short introduction, and then just throw us right into Joel.
And I mean even in the sequence when you get into the town and the outbreak and everything, it's just crazy.
Yeah,
and like they did a really good job of trying to show off of like I think what Apocalypse would look like at the start.
Yeah, there's man, that whole opening sequence is intense.
Yeah,
very intense.
Yes,
and then the events after. Then there's that 20-year jump,
which actually, sorry, but I'm thinking about it. That 20-year jump. I still want to know what happened in that 20 years.
Yeah. But more importantly, the death of Sarah, that was kind of like setting that was like, all right, this is the first of many punches to the kidney Naughty Dog's gonna give you in this whole game.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever seen the movie Up, you'll know that the first 10 minutes of that film is some of the most heartbreaking stuff you'll see. And that whole 10 minutes of Up can be a short film by itself. Last of Us.
I didn't think that she was gonna get shot.
Yeah, I didn't know she was gonna. I thought she was gonna get they were gonna skip over her death. They were gonna. I didn't know Naughty Dog was gonna come out and literally show her dying in her last breaths.
Yeah, dude. That was
unexpected.
It was really intense.
It was unexpected. Yeah. Naughty Dog, straight off the bat, wasn't afraid to kill anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Their first death was a freaking kid. You just they're not holding back on this one, and they didn't. This whole game is full of they establish a character and they'll kill it. right?
Yeah.
Like Tess. They established her as Joel. Like she's like kind of like Tess, kind of they're partners in a smuggling business.
Yeah.
They like smuggle guns and stuff.
And supplies because their food stamps doesn't work as much sometimes.
Then they trade these to get these ration tickets, and it's kind of like currency now in the quarantine zones. These military-run quarantine zones that they live in now, 20 years after the apocalypse. And the only one, there's like Boston, the one he lives in is one of the very few left that hasn't been overrun. Because as you go through the game, you kind of see more quarantine zones, and you see most of them have been overtaken by
Did you see in
scavengers.
in that first scene after you get out and stop talking to him, you're walking around? Did you see the part where they talk about the supply store hasn't been open yet?
Yeah.
And have you looked at the thing? And there's all the wanted posters.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can actually go up and you can read the names of the people that are wanted on there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anything's in it, but I was thinking like all the detail that's into that, like even just that side, and like even things that have no point to the game at all have so much detail to them.
Yeah. Like I bet you didn't. Did you ever get that dude? It's obvious that you get this like kind of a feeling that Joel and Tess are kind of respected among the people in the shit. The quarantine zone.
Yeah.
Because there's one sequence of mine where I walked up to a guy and he's trying to fuck with me, and someone from the side goes, "Dude, that's Joel." He's like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry." It's like oh, these guys must have like a reputation. Well, they have a reputation in that quarantine zone.
I think they have a reputation for getting shit done and getting people supplies and smuggling things and getting things that they need.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a kind of the whole. It's just kind of basically that was the tutorial.
Yeah,
that whole sequence was just a huge tutorial and a bit of exposition setting up the whole smuggling Ellie out of the city.
And the infected part where like you can kind of watch it from the side. They walk out the door.
Oh yeah,
and they get the people down, and they're like, "He's clean." He's clean.
Yeah, they kind of get the prod like what's going on.
Yeah,
you get the process of how they figure out what they kind of weed out.
Yeah, they find that I guess they made a device that does it for them.
Yeah,
and they shoot him. Oh my god, I was like, wow, this shit is serious.
Yeah, these military guys. I can never. I don't know what to feel about the military in this game.
I don't like them at all.
Like, sometimes you're like, oh, these guys are just doing their job, but then there's sometimes where you're just like, well, are they even trying?
Yeah, well, there's technically nothing commanding them. I mean, you think about it, the government's gone.
Yeah, so order martial law.
Yeah. I mean, really, if you think about it, the military is just policing these quarantine zones.
Yeah.
And making sure that there's order. I mean, did you listen to the part where you walk out and the lady's talking about that the job is she'd gotten for outside work?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like that. I think it's the military, and there might be a general that's running these things that's going on inside the thing, because there's no government.
I don't think there's anybody.
I think it's more tribal.
Yeah,
I think it's more tribal.
If anything, yeah, because I don't see there's not a huge military presence at all.
Yeah.
The rest of the game.
Well, actually, I don't know. The military are kind of on your ass a while.
No, they're not really.
For like the first.
There's
through Boston. They're
on
your ass.
It's like the first 3, like maybe a couple hours of the game, you see the military.
Once you get past the Capitol building.
I never had any problem. I never had any problem
after the subway.
Yeah, those are military, but
they were military from the Boston quarantine zone.
Yeah, then after that you don't really see them anymore.
Yeah, they're kind of gone.
They don't have. As I said, they don't have much of a presence in the wasteland. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's mostly
after that, it's just hunters and
fireflies aren't the big
cannibals.
Deal. Yeah, cannibals. That was fucked up.
No, I bet you did. I bet you didn't know that Nolan North was David.
I didn't know that either.
And if you don't, there's a character who leads this kind of group of cannibals. His name's David. You don't know he's a cannibal first until you get captured. But
yeah, and they're cutting up the body.
Yeah. Oh my god. He came off. He was like at first you kind of like, all right,
he's a nice guy.
He's trustworthy.
You were like, Ellie, dude, you gotta trust him. I was like, you don't want to trust him, dude.
I wasn't saying she should trust him. I was just saying that I don't know. He seemed legit.
Yeah, until he's like, yeah, young girl,
and then
crazy old man.
But that I thought sometimes Ellie's reactions kind of got her into trouble too.
Yeah.
Like the way she treated him kind of got her in trouble as well. I think if she wouldn't have like fucked with him a bit more like she did, she wouldn't have been in that situation with David in the restaurant.
Oh.
I think she could avoid that altogether. She wouldn't have bit his hand
Or
and stabbed his partner.
Bit his hand. Would it break his finger?
Stabbed his she bit his hand. No. Yeah, she bit something.
She bit his hand, and when they were getting him on the table.
Yeah.
Because then he's like, "I'm infected," and then they pull up.
Oh, she bit up his arm, and she did actually. That's actually true. She actually did infect him. She carries that virus.
Yeah, I was gonna say she does have the ability.
She says she has the ability to do it, so she was legitimately infecting him.
Yeah.
At first, I thought she was bluffing.
Yeah, well, I thought it was a bluff too.
But she wasn't, and then she stabs the guy next to her and runs.
I know. I was like, "Yeah, Ellie."
Yeah, there was the whole winter sequence was one of the
It was kind of something I wasn't thinking. I didn't think that was actually going to happen.
Yeah, the whole setup is just to winter is at the end of the is it spring? No, it's the end of the fall. End of the fall season. Joel gets impaled on a spike.
Was it a spike or the pole that he fell on?
It's whatever. He gets
Yeah.
impaled. There's
Yeah,
no
either way, he
point.
gets
It doesn't matter what the object is. He gets impaled and he bleeds out, and then Ellie basically spends a whole almost the winter taking care of him.
Yeah.
Like trying to keep him alive and finding medicine, and that's
David,
when you run the David.
The only reason why I think she interacted with David is because they had the medicine that she needed.
She needed penicillin, and she got the penicillin.
She got the penicillin.
That's why when I first thought oh shit, these guys are gonna be like hunters or something. Like they're a clan of hunters, and that's why he talked about his family or whatever.
Yeah.
Then I suspected there was something up with him, but when he gave us the medicine, I'm like, okay, he gave us the medicine.
After giving David a pointed gun in your face.
Yeah. No, David wasn't pointing the gun, but okay.
Not David.
Whatever
James or whatever his name.
Whatever his partner is.
Yeah, whatever his partner's name was. I think it was James. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he pointed. Then he gives you the medicine, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess that's the end of him. And I kind of ran away. But then you run into him again, and they start hunting you down. Even though he told the people sent to kill you were told to take you alive.
Take you alive and kill Joel.
I don't think they said that. They said take them alive.
I think they were gonna kill Joel.
I think David said take them alive, but the guy said fuck it and said kill her anyway.
Yeah.
So they didn't know where Joel was.
No, they never found Joel. That's why she got on the horse was to make sure that they would lose her and they would start following her instead of looking for Joel.
But that when I was playing as Ellie, which by the way is something I didn't see coming at all. I thought Joel was dead.
Yeah.
When I first played
I didn't tell you.
I thought they killed her. I was like, oh shit, that's a bold decision to kill off to kill off one of the main characters in the middle of the game. I thought they did that, but then they were the medicine. I'm like, oh, well, Joel's alive.
Yeah. Well, barely alive.
Well, he was alive. He was. Well, a shot of penicillin cured him. He wasn't that dead.
I know, but he was pretty.
It was
sick.
one shot of penicillin.
I think he was pretty
fine.
sick. Penicillin can cure a lot of things.
Yeah, but it was one shot of penicillin. He was fine. He was totally fine.
It also depends on how big the dosage was.
He wasn't that bad if it took one shot of penicillin.
Well, let's see how big that one shot was.
Watch one of what you want to fucking guess what size it was. I mean, what the
I'm
fuck?
just saying. It's like there's so many things. I mean,
no, but it's regardless. He wasn't in as bad a condition as we thought he was at the end of fall. I thought he was dead. No one survives that kind of thing.
Especially I thought he bled out.
Especially in that kind of situation, whether in a post-apocalyptic wasteland with no doctors, barely any doctors, I suspected they wouldn't have any trouble killing him off. They just let him bleed out.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Well, then after that, but did you not feel kind of badass as Ellie?
Ellie was pretty good with the shotgun or with the rifle,
and I liked how she had a knife constantly, but
yeah,
because I hated using shivs all the time. Yeah, she had this.
The first thing I did when I played my game is I saw that the shiv master and being able to shiv the thing. That's the first thing I did was being a shiv master, so I didn't have to worry about always dying from those.
Yeah, my second playthrough I did that because you can do New Game Plus. So I put it one difficulty up and then just started doing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, not a lot of trophies.
No.
Like I got one trophy.
I don't know if they're hidden.
I got one trophy for beating the game.
Yeah.
They're not hidden. No.
No, I'm not talking about like secret trophies, but like things you have to find.
No. They're like crafting, doing certain things, reading
Finding
notes, doing the conversations with Ellie. Like doing all
contextual. I missed all the conversations.
If you listen to all her jokes from the pun book, you get a trophy. Yeah, I couldn't stick around for that. Though it was kind of funny.
All the jokes from where?
The pun book she pulls out.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just reading in the middle of to like lighten the mood or whatever. Yeah, she reads that. That was funny. I thought that was funny, but I started walking because I know I was in character with Joel at that point because I knew Joel would just keep walking.
Yeah.
So I just kind of did what Joel would do.
Yeah. Joel, even I'm surprised with like.
I was
think about
surprised
it.
at-
The only
how
thing that
despicable
Joel
was.
really had that like made you like him was that you saw the prologue, and like besides that he was a massive
Yeah.
dick.
I liked him. I did.
Well, he was a
Even
hardcore
after
badass.
the prologue, I liked him because he knew what to do. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he was a survivor.
Yeah, exactly why I like him. But he also had a conscience.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't that bad. He just made the decisions he had to, even in the end.
He did whatever it took to get the job done. He was really pissed
It's the
when
same.
he got to the Capitol building.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't want to go on with the job, but seeing Tess convinced him that this might be it.
Yeah,
Like literally,
Which
this is like I got bit an hour ago, and I'm feeling okay. Context, Tess got bit. We all know that.
yeah.
She gets bit, and like an hour ago, she's already feeling the effects of the infection.
What'd you think of Sam and Henry?
I thought they're gonna survive longer.
I kind of figured that they were gonna die
I
before the radio tower.
I thought they would go a bit longer than kill them, but I saw the scratch.
I saw that part. I saw that part before I got to play the game because I was with a friend, and this is what convinced me to get the damn game.
Mhm.
Like I was like sitting, I was like, I'll just wait for it to go down in price because I was go down in price, and then
Yeah.
I'll buy it. And I watched him play. I was like, holy shit, this is worth $60.
Yeah.
And I bought it, and I called it like at the thing, like we first met him, and I was like, Sam's gonna get bitten, and Henry's gonna go kill himself over it.
Yeah.
And boom, I was right. Psychic.
Yeah, I saw the scratch and I'm like, oh, well, I know where this is going. Because just from assuming, they don't really explicitly tell you, but you can get infected by a scratch.
Yeah. I don't know if he was scratch or
That was a scratch on his
that was
leg.
a scratch.
Yeah, you look at it, it wasn't
So
a bite.
it's kind of like
If you would have seen
this
it,
might be really weird.
if he was
but
bitten,
kind
you
of
would have seen it.
it was really weird, or a really weird kind of thing to throw here. It's kind of like The Walking Dead because scratches infect you in The Walking Dead.
In The Walking Dead, that makes no sense.
So yeah, zombies scratch you, it infects you.
That makes no sense.
I guess I don't know how, but that's why they say to look for scratches, because and it was the second season, and this was when Rick's finding evidence about that you don't need to be bitten in order to turn when you die.
Mm-hmm.
You just turn.
Mm-hmm.
So he finds these cops, and there's no bite marks, and so he says look for cuts,
Mhm.
or look for scratches, and they find no scratches on him either. So that's when they find out that's when Rick has enough evidence to say, holy shit,
Yeah.
we already have the virus in us.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
going
And
back to The Last of Us.
The Last of Us, Sam and Henry, I thought they would last longer, but I know how from what I got from the prologue, I knew Naughty Dog wasn't afraid to kill people at inconvenient times and inconvenient ways.
Mhm.
So, and also very brutal, realistic ways. So,
You realize that all the people you meet in that
die.
game. Well, no. Besides that, they're all types of people that you would find in Apocalypse. You have your two people that are looking for your freedom fighter that say we can make everything better. Come and join us, which were Sam and Henry. You had Billy, who was just your loner survivor. That's all that mine.
I liked Bill. I liked
Yeah.
Bill. I did.
Bill. You got Bill, and then you had You had who's the last one you run into? That's it, isn't it?
You're talking about Tess, did you?
Tess.
You didn't mention Tess.
Tess is. I don't know how to explain Tess. I guess she's just another survivor, but she survives.
She was kind of Joel's go-to.
Yeah, go-to.
They were partners. They were partners, and they survived together.
Yeah.
And they ran a smuggling business together, and I think
we've already talked about
there's
that.
There's implications. I think they've had a relationship in the past, but not now.
I still think there might have been a little relationship. I don't think they had it as strong because of what's going on.
Well, at the time it was business.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. They know how to put it aside.
Yeah.
For business. That's what I mean. I think they had a relationship at one time. If not, they broke it off and continued to have a business relationship.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. But Sam and Henry, I didn't get freedom fighters much. I got just they're trying. They think they can make it out. They're positive.
Well, no. If you see Henry's trying to make it to the Fireflies so he can join up with them and fight.
I thought he was just gonna go to the Fireflies for protection.
No, he was going to the Fireflies to join up with them.
Oh, I don't remember.
So, and he was also doing it for Henry because he know if he joined up with the Fireflies, because the Fireflies.
You mean Henry? I'm pretty sure Henry was the older one.
I'm sorry, I'm tired as hell. But no, Henry joining up with the Fireflies, so Sam can be protected because the Fireflies protect people who are with their cause.
Yeah. Sure. But I didn't know they took kids. But apparently, they have.
Well, I mean, come on, you think about it. If a kid grows up, he can fight.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But yeah. And I don't know. Henry and Sam's relationship was really complicated.
Yeah.
I got the vibe that Henry was really overprotective of Sam.
That, and also I really think that he was hardcore. Like, I guess you could call it business or survival because he did
I didn't
everything.
really
Because I mean, you see his rules. He's like, no, like only carry things that we need.
Yeah, but I didn't really get. I got that he's so overprotective of his little brother that he kind of comes off as he's kind of meandering him, and he's kind of, forceful on him because he doesn't want to lose his brother. I thought I kind of got the overprotective parent out of it.
Yeah, that didn't fucking work.
Yeah, well, that's not his fault. I don't think that really was his fault. That's just how things work in the apocalypse.
Yeah, shit happens.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really his fault, but he blamed himself, obviously.
Yeah, well,
He blamed Joel, and then he blamed himself.
Yeah, well, I thought, oh shit, is he gonna shoot Joel? Is he gonna try to shoot Joel?
He could have.
Yeah,
he almost did it twice.
Yeah, I mean,
she shot at you twice.
Yeah.
Well, that would kind of get back at him for Joel beating the shit out of him when they met up.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
It's like, oh god, you hit hard.
Well, I was trying to kill you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I thought Ellie was kind of relieved to find someone her own age. Well, her own age.
I think he was probably
He lied.
11. I think he's somewhere around 11.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he lied about his age.
Yeah.
To impress her.
14, how old are you? Same.
Yeah,
No,
I kind of got that vibe.
Because Henry goes, you wish.
Yeah. It's like, I am. I think in the apocalypse, age doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's kind of like Ellie in the beginning. It's like, I'm 14. What does that have to do with
Ellie
anything?
and Sam both can't swim.
What is it with the people not being able to swim in the apocalypse? Like, I kind of get the vibe, like, there's these, like, gaps between the seasons. I'm like, hey, guys, can you learn how to swim? Like, shouldn't
they
Joel...
don't tell you what happens in between the seasons. I mean,
there's
Jesus
like
Christ, they could be running.
These guys are together for probably, I'm going to assume, about a year and more. Joel and Ellie traveled together for about a year or more.
It was a year and
It was 4 seasons and one more and a little bit of one more.
So like a year and what, 4 or 5 months?
I don't know. It was a year. It was a little over a year, and Joel didn't think it would be a good idea to teach her how to swim just so we wouldn't have to swim and get her a pallet every time they hit water, and then save her the trouble of knocking her out for the Fireflies.
Oh, this is the person I forgot. Tommy.
Oh yeah,
he's the man. Here's what I saw him in the game: the person who was trying to rebuild.
I don't think his concerns were with everybody else outside, just keeping his community.
Well, I mean,
safe.
like if you see that, I mean, like he was fixing the water.
The water. No, the generator. You mean the electricity?
The turbine. That's what I'm trying to think of. I couldn't think of the word. Yeah, the turbine.
The electricity, yeah.
And in the winter, did you think that the dam that you were in was the one from...
Nope.
I
knew we were too far out west, so...
I was sitting there, I was like, how far did they go?
No, we were too far out west to go be near Tommy's.
Yeah.
We were what at the end. The hospital's in Salt Lake City, so I knew we weren't going anywhere near them. So, which, yeah, there's a whole. Yeah,
That's a shit ton of walking.
Yeah, well, it's over it took them a year to get from Boston to Salt Lake City.
That was a year. Oh yeah,
it's like a year and a little more.
Yeah.
So from Boston to.
Yeah.
Was it Boston? The Capitol building was in D.C., right? Where's the Capitol building at? God damn it! It's not in D.C., is it? I don't know. Whatever. Okay,
Washington D.C.
They walked across half the United States.
I think Washington D.C. and Boston are quite close.
Oh, Washington D.C. is in Virginia. It's in a. It's a district of Columbia. It's in Virginia though. Well, not in Virginia, but next to it. It's a little patch of land next to Virginia.
I don't know if they're right. I think you're right. I think that might be part of Boston. I'm not sure.
I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter. What the point is, they walked they walked all the way to Salt Lake City from the East Coast. Either way. So, yeah, that's a long walk. Well, it took them a year, so that's realistic.
If you
also had a car for a little bit.
Where was Tommy located?
Tommy? I don't know.
Because he was located somewhere.
It took him to fall to get there.
Yeah,
so, from the summer.
I wasn't sure where he was.
Or the spring. I don't fucking know.
I wasn't sure if he was in, somewhere in Washington or somewhere over there.
I don't know, but doesn't. Washington. That's a very long way. Washington's up in the West Coast.
Well, I'm trying to think of somewhere that either that or in the Midwest where there's a lot
it's probably
of
in the Midwest.
Where there's a lot of forest.
Yeah, it's probably in the Midwest though.
I know. I'm just trying to think of where.
They took a highway almost the whole way. So.
To Tommy's?
No, they took a highway almost the way to Salt Lake City.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They were following an interstate. So. Yeah. I don't. There's getting off these this location shit. We don't know where everything is in the United States. Just because we're Americans, we know it. We know everything about America. But
yeah.
There's giraffes.
My friend tried to shoot them.
He's a terrible person.
Well, he tried to see if he could shoot them. No, you can't shoot them.
He wasn't very sucked into the story, was he? Obviously, at the point, because this
was his third time playing it.
I was gonna say at that point in the game, I was like, "Whoa!" This is like that one shining. Like I was listening to people talk about it, and they were like, "There's one dude who broke down in tears at the giraffes." Because he's like, there's this one moment of where everything was going right, for once, there's this one moment where everything's going right, and he's like, and then you go into the scariest fucking tunnel in existence.
Oh no! Oh my god! I snuck through all that. Didn't have to fight.
Yep, I killed one. I killed one clicker. Yeah, because it was my way. Then I snuck past everything else. Actually, no. I used
two bloomers.
I threw 2 bottles, and then I threw a couple bottles at the end of that. Then I walked past them. Which, by the way,
I didn't kill a damn thing.
I'm glad they made the design decision to not make your AI partner be heard.
Yeah,
that would have.
Especially with Bill. Oh my god.
I know, Bill was hilarious. Bill was one of my favorite characters.
He was hilarious, but my god, he couldn't be loud enough.
By the way, there's a really cool video of them in the mocap studio of that scene when they first meet Bill. Them in the mocap. It's so cool to watch, them with props in those little spandex suits. It's hilarious, but it's really you're watching it, and this is exactly how it played out in the game. But with just, not the surroundings, and it's not digital. But it's exactly... And then you're looking at Troy Baker, and you're like, that guy's not Joel. He's blonde, he's thin.
Yeah.
This dude has, one hell of a range of voice. And then Ellie is, short and blonde. And then Bill looks like Bill. Yeah. His character is modeled after the actor. It's really funny. Joel looks nothing like Troy Baker.
I don't know if they picked someone... Oh no, probably not, because Bill or Joel is kind of thick.
Ellie looks like Ellen Page. It's the likeness is almost uncanny, and she talked about not being appreciative of them ripping off her likeness because she's in a video game later this year. She's like, I have my own game next year. I don't appreciate them ripping off my likeness.
Yeah,
she's like, I imagine that's what a 14-year-old Ellen Page looks like with auburn hair. she had a different hair color. That's Ellen Page.
Yeah.
It's hilarious how like similar they are, but Troy Baker looks nothing like Joel.
Yeah, I know.
And watching interviews, he doesn't even, he's not even like any in personality any way similar to Joel.
It's amazing what scripts can do. And
Yeah, it's amazing. He's a really good actor, and the only reason he got the part, they told me, I looked at his face and he was like, "That's not Joel." But him and the actor for Ashley Johnson, the actor for Ellie, hit it off so quickly. He's like, these two have to be it. It's like they both like immediately hit it off, and they're like, this is exactly how I want them to act with each other.
If you didn't know who the actors were,
Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson.
If you don't know what they look like.
No, I'm gonna put a picture or something.
But you know what I mean?
Like Joel and Troy Baker's face next to each other. I'm like, look at this guy played this guy.
I know,
in
but
mocap.
like you know what I'm saying? They nailed it.
Yeah.
My God, they nailed it.
Yeah. And then I want to talk about Bill, because Bill was a really, really good character. He was like,
even for just being that one character for 2 hours.
He was but if you like read into it, he's more of a character than you think.
Yeah.
He's very complex.
Did you read his partner's death note?
Yeah, and did you give it to him?
I didn't give it to him. Oh, you can give it to him?
Yeah, you can give it to him.
God damn it.
I gave it to him. My second playthrough, I gave it to him. And
I need to go back and play that.
Oh, it's you playing it the second time is more enlightening than the first. Though the first one's more like, I like the first playthrough.
It was pretty creepy.
But your canon playthrough is more of the you get to. I think I appreciate it now more than I did the first time.
Because you were mad at the combat.
Yeah, I wasn't used to it. Now I'm used to it. I've blown through the first half of the game. Yeah, like not even used to it. I think I've shot a gun twice.
Yeah, see, I didn't shoot my gun. I did shoot my gun sometimes. Like in the
never mind. The first clicker, the second clicker sequence when they're all in the building. One of the runners saw me, and I had to kill all the clickers. So never mind. I had to use a pistol.
What I did with that,
but after that, no guns, nothing.
I did what was it? No, I had to use the gun in the beginning. I only went through the game with like 3 health packs.
The second playthrough, I went through that whole shipyard sequence without getting seen at all.
Really?
Yep.
I got saw because I didn't understand what the the sound thing was. I just thought it would let you see everybody through the wall. So I was like, there's nobody over here.
What you got to do is walk and kill that guy by the shipping crates first, then walk back and then kill the guy there, and then hide, and then you can kill everybody like back to back.
Okay, because I didn't see one of the guys, and I walked, and I ended up walking right into front of him because I didn't see him there.
I used the sound thing the second time.
I didn't know it was a sound. I thought it just let me see things.
Yeah.
And eventually when I eventually figured it out, because I noticed that like when they're talking you can see them, and when they're walking you can see the footsteps. Yeah. That's what it was. I was like, oh, so you can hear, it's not just seeing everybody, because I was like, oh great, millimeter scanner.
Yeah, it was interesting. Interesting mechanic. I didn't think they would have that. And if you play survivor mode, it's disabled. So
really?
Yeah. Dude, that's gonna be tough for me to get.
That's the farthest you can
I'm
go.
trying to play I'm gonna try and play Survivor. So everything's harder, and even there's no hearing, so you have to rely on bottles and stuff. So I've already relied on bottles already. I always carry a brick.
I used them when I absolutely had to.
I always use them clickers because I can just like send them over somewhere else and walk right past them.
I used to shiv them.
Nah, I've gone through
that first part. You know that part where you're in the first clicker part where you're in that building and it's dark as shit.
Which one? The second? You mean the first time or the second time you see them?
The one with all the stores all around.
Okay, because the first time is in the hotel with Ellie and Tess, and it's that one clicker, and you have to walk.
the one with a lot, and then the runners.
Okay.
I couldn't find out where to go because I went over to where the fence was, the gate. And I was like, okay, I can't get in through here.
Yeah.
And I ended up killing everything in the room.
Really? All you had to do is look at press triangle.
I didn't notice. So I killed everything in the room, and even after I killed everything, I still ran around looking because I couldn't find out what to do.
Dude, I was like so confused, and I looked up like, oh shit, I gotta boost them, and I'm like, oh shit, oh shit, because I know that they can hear you, but apparently they can't hear you at that time.
Yeah.
Like if you
Well,
go
it's
up the
kind of
ladder.
like when you're getting. It's kind of like that part where you're in the sewers and you're at that last part. You're at that last part where you had to get where the girl you voice the boy and the girl Sam and Ellie out through the window to get the pop machine out in front of the door.
Yeah.
And you're in there and you're trying to kill things. And all you have to do is run over to the door
And like
and it stops everything.
I love how because they stop and like look at the door and then go through the door and like sit there and then get all the way to the door.
Yeah,
Like, at
well,
that point, when I walked over to the door, a clicker was on my ass.
Yeah. And he was out of shivs.
Yeah, I was like, fuck. At that time, I ended up shiv master,
Yeah.
so I would have died. I could have meleeed it once and then ran.
Mm-hmm.
Punch it once, then run. That's all I could do at that point.
I didn't like
By the way,
I didn't like that.
the first time you encountered the bloater, what did you do? Did you just shoot it?
I shot it like 3 times with a shotgun.
You can kill it with 2 nail bombs.
I threw a nail. Well, I only threw 1 nail bomb because I let Bill kill most of it.
Yeah, I let Bill do a lot of stuff because he never crouched.
Then he doesn't take any damage.
But I just thought Bill. Okay, I want to get back on Bill because we got away from Bill.
Awesome.
Bill was an awesome character because I the
First
first
here, you little shit.
like he saved your life and then he like handcuffs Ellie to the pipe and then he's like get on the ground and then he dead legs you until you get on the ground.
Yeah. Any bites? Any scratches?
Yeah.
My God, I was like, okay, I already hate. All right, yeah, because like at that part, I was like, okay, I hate you now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you warm up to him again, and like 'cause he's kind of like that comedy. He's actually he's that funny character in the game.
Not intentionally funny, but funny.
Yeah, but fun. I mean, like, so what type of favors I owe you now? It's got to be a joke. Alex, I need a car. Oh, it is a joke. Joe needs a car.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of. I don't know if he's completely crazy, but at some point, I think he cracked.
Yeah,
He's crazy a little bit.
he's paranoid.
Yeah, he's hilarious though.
Oh yeah,
My
holy
God.
shit.
Like Ellie's reactions to Ellie and him were just Ellie and his like everything they said to each other was golden. Like the first time she fucking whacks him in the pipe, and then
Fucking
he's
handcuffed me to a pole.
yeah. We're like she's like,
Joel
why
tells
don't you
her,
take all my food? Well, it looks from looks of it, you could use some of it. You can lose some of that.
follow, but right behind me.
Yeah, just like follow the whole thing's booby traps. So yeah, stay right on my ass. Couldn't miss it. God, it's
My
funny.
God.
That was so funny.
Oh, in the car scene, when
Oh.
you're driving away in the magazine.
Oh,
Oh, it's
God.
all sticky.
Why are the pages stuck together? Yeah, I assumed like I love Naughty Dog's like really subtle inclusion. Like they included a gay character, subtly.
Well, she said she was just kidding.
But it is a gay porn magazine.
Yeah.
Subtly, and then he talks about his partner, which, by the way, I knew because he would have said friend.
Yeah.
It was his partner, but he ran off and then died.
Well,
That's what I mean.
No, I think Joel.
He was.
I think Bill.
Because you wouldn't have known that. You wouldn't have known he was gay until after that.
Well,
That's why I loved that so much. He wasn't stereotypically gay.
Yeah.
It was great.
Bill. Well, the reason why I think he did that because Bill cut off and said.
Yeah,
"I
he
need
said,
to be
he said,
alone."
we're cutting all ties.
Yeah.
Because I said all it does is get you killed. And he was
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, well, that.
Think about this. Think about every close encounter Joel ever had. And then he's like, Bill's right.
Yeah.
I got impaled on a goddamn spike. Yeah, but Bill's right in a way, but yeah, so Naughty Dog was very, very subtle on that until the car scene. But now you kind of forget about it a couple minutes later because it's hilarious. That whole Joel and Ellie interaction is hilarious.
Mhm.
That whole car scene is probably the funniest part of the game.
You stole from him? I didn't steal. I borrowed.
Yeah, I think he's gonna miss any of this. Like
Yeah.
you stole that Hank Williams tape from him.
That
It's
was
like
funny. That was funny.
It's making nostalgic. And that was actually before my time. I guess what I have to do.
It was funny how Naughty Dog was able to throw in comedy
Yeah.
into a game that was so.
Well, I kind of
serious.
expected them to warm up to each other at one point. Especially after.
I don't know if he
especially
still
after
warmed
that.
up to her.
I think he warmed up to her. There's no doubt about it. After Winter, he was totally.
Oh,
fine.
after Winter, yeah.
After Winter, she was more distant than he was
Yeah.
in the beginning. I was like really like, oh shit, she's really traumatized. 'Cause Didn't David feel kind of rapey?
Oh yeah.
David was a really rapey.
I thought he was gonna. I wasn't sure.
Like at the
You
end,
can come
when he
back
was,
to my camp. I'd rather not.
no, he was rapey at the end, like stalking her, hunting her, and then pinning her down before she hits him with the machete.
Yeah.
I was like, he's rapey. He was I think he was a not. You couldn't call him a pedophile, because it's if you're it's like pedophile's technically 13 or younger. So what he technically is the hebephile, where he has a preference of ages. It's 14, obviously. I think it's what he was. It's a hebephile, but then you realize it's Nolan North. I'm like, I would never know that was Nathan Drake.
And the funny thing is, was that whole scene mocap?
Yeah,
Jesus.
that was that. I'm pretty sure that the whole thing was mocap.
Damn.
I would have felt so creeped out.
Yeah,
even
I
in
would have felt
mocap.
awkward.
Like even like in the scene where he's pinning her down. Even in mocap, that's gotta feel rapey.
Yeah, I mean, especially in tight clothing like that.
That spandex with all balls tapped, like strapped onto you.
Yeah.
I want to do mocap someday. I think that'd be fun.
I think if
Like watching the video as a comedy is like, it's like, get down or I'll shoot you with my banana.
Yeah.
It's like,
because there's no audio.
it's no, it's like the gun is like a bent like yellow tube. That's the prop. It's like, get down or I'll shoot you with my banana. Oh, that was so great. But yeah, Bill as a character was great. And then Joel and Ellie's interactions, and especially after Spring, where there was that one sequence where you're in the tram station, and you're in the corner. No, the place where that place where you're supposed to boost up, and she doesn't come over.
Oh,
that broke the flow, and I was like, whoa.
I was kind of.
I was kind of concerned at that point.
Well, like here's what happened to me. Like the one time Ellie ran off.
Yeah.
And Ellie.
That happened to me too. I got frustrated as shit because I lost her one time. She wouldn't come back. Like in the hotel, where you have to kill all the bandits and you get separated from each other. Before that, I was walking around making sure the place is clear. I look behind me and Ellie's nowhere to be fucking found.
I was looking for that sequence in the first time they took it to E3. E3 would have been like 2012. You know what I'm talking about? E3, 2012.
Oh, the demo. Yeah, the place where the demo took place.
Yeah, the place where the demo. I was waiting for that interaction where she, gets in trouble and Joel, like, you know what I'm talking about, like, shoots him in the head and it goes to the black. I was waiting for that I was waiting for that to happen, and it didn't happen. I was like, damn it!
What I loved is that Ellie's helping in combat before then, when she kind of throws bricks at people. Like,
that was the one time.
I love how they included that, because in the demo I thought that was kind of like, scripted. The hey asshole brick.
I had the one time, it was in the Hunters, and it wasn't right before you meet Sam, but it was kind of like where you run into the big wires, and then there's the people up top, on the front, and I went up there and I didn't kill all the guys up there, but these other people came, and they didn't see me fully, but they saw something, so they were sitting there, and I was sitting behind a table waiting for this guy to come, and he just stops. And just sits there. I was like, well, if I get out, he's gonna see me, and everybody else is gonna know. Even if I kill him before he says anything, they're still gonna know. So I was like, oh, shit, what am I gonna do? So I sat there for about 5 minutes trying to figure out what to do. And Ellie just goes out, jumps on his back, and starts stabbing him in the throat. I was like, okay,
did it work?
Yeah, it worked.
What the fuck? Because in the fucking stealth sequence as Ellie, that always gets you caught. God damn it!
She managed to kill him, and then
I thought it was hilarious.
Then I
used at one of the guys I was strangling. I was fighting.
Then I used one of their tripwires against them.
And then you give her a gun, and then everything works out because she's actually helpful in combat.
Yeah,
she's actually a decent shot.
I was like when I was in that.
Did you have trouble with that part?
No.
What you get with a hunting rifle?
Oh, no, I got.
And you had to sit around, go down there and clear everything out.
I got out of there in one hit.
I couldn't. It took me a couple times because of the Molotov assault.
I had the thing where I had a Molotov already.
Yeah.
So when they were sitting there in a group talking before, I managed to throw a Molotov. I got 2 or 3 of them the first time.
Yeah,
I wiped out most of them before.
It took me a couple tries to get that part.
What was hard for me is that they sat down. They got really quiet, so I couldn't use my listening thing anymore. So I ended up running into a few of them, and they had shotguns. So I had to use. That's where I used medikits.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. That whole sequence, and he finally gave her a gun, and I'm like, finally! Jesus Christ, I was waiting for somebody to give her a gun.
Yeah, I was looking on the case, and I was looking, cause if you see on the case, she has a scope on the rifle.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no scope.
She used a pistol from that on. So.
Yeah, I know. Well, if you see, Joel puts the rifle down.
Yeah.
I mean, besides from the winter time where she uses the rifle because she steals it from.
Well, she's the alpha. She's the alpha female at that point. So.
Well, she also steals it from David.
God, that whole like winter sequence is so fun.
It was really good.
Yeah, because
Something
I
I
was
wasn't
like,
suspecting.
this is a 14-year-old girl, and she's wiping out your entire like.
And
clan.
if you think, did you in the blizzard? Did you ever get found?
Nope.
Good. 'Cause I didn't.
No, if I did, it restarted.
Really?
Yeah. I did. I was like that concerned that I was gonna. I'm like I can't do in combat. Ellie in like face to head like head to head combat. I thought Ellie wasn't really that good, so she's great at sneaking around. That's why.
Yeah, well, like I try to do hand to hand combat sometimes with Ellie, and I was like, wait a minute, she's like 14. So like most of the time when I got into hand to hand combat, most of my health was already gone before I managed to get to the knife. And
I just snipe up people and stab them. Because that always works, but it's the most unstealthy stab I've ever seen.
I did the one thing. I did the one time where they were like, "You went inside the cabin," and the one guy comes up to the window and is like looking, and I'm sitting like right underneath the window, and he right before he turns around, I pop up and just shoot him really fast, like it was a quick skill.
I didn't do that. I just waited for him to walk away.
I got in combat with that because.
Now when Joe came back alive, it was harder to stay stealthy.
Really?
I had trouble staying stealthy with him because I'm like, oh, this is that part of the game where I run and save Ellie, right? Nope. I got shot up.
What did you think the torture?
What?
The torture where he tortures
great.
the guys.
That was great. I thought it was like,
Yeah.
hey, there's Joe.
It's right.
He didn't lose. He didn't fucking lose a step, even after getting impaled.
That guy's like, it's right here, and then he kills that guy.
He's like,
and
he gave you what you wanted.
He gave you what you wanted. You're right.
And I believe him.
And I trust you.
And I believe him.
Yeah, and he kills him. I was like, yeah, Joel. Yeah, Joel.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but dude, that sequence with David, that whole the things burning and he's hunting you.
I didn't suspect that.
What did you feel that whole time?
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
My whole feeling after, like before, it was easy. Like, the first two times it was pretty easy, you know.
I got had trouble with the second time. I didn't notice the plates.
Oh yeah, I noticed that the first time.
I saw the plates when I first got in there before Davey got in there.
Yeah.
I noticed the plates. I was like, I wonder why these are on the ground for. You know, they're all broken.
But you realized by the third time when he started hiding from you, you realized you couldn't hit a fucking plate, or else you're dead.
Yeah.
Because it took me like that third part took me about 15 minutes just because of waiting and stalking him while he was stalking me.
Yeah.
That was like a 15. That whole thing.
I had this one where I was sitting on the. You know how like you come out of the kitchen. You know, you go into the kitchen on the one side and you come out and there's this crates next to the bar.
Yeah.
I was sitting on the one side of the crates and he came through the kitchen and he didn't see me and he stops. I was like, perfect. Thank God.
No, I had to.
And I came around the corner and what does he do?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. And he looked back at that time.
Dude, he looked back at me, but at the time I was alright. I was back.
And did you have the chance to run away on the third one? Because every time he saw me, he always killed me.
Nope.
The first
No,
time.
no. The third time I had one chance. He slashed me, but he didn't kill me.
He killed me. Like every time, he always managed to get that knife in my throat. I was like, fuck.
No, by the time I ran away, he cut me once, and then I ran away, and then I hid, and then I got him. I got him the second time after I fucked up.
Yeah.
But I got him when he stopped once.
I died.
I got when he stopped and listening for me, because I was like, oh shit. It was terrible because I didn't know exactly where he was.
Yeah.
But I saw his form once with the sound mode, and then I moved, looked over there, I'm like, he's there. He's not okay. He's not moving. He doesn't hear me, so I went up behind him and stabbed him. That was the end. But the first time, I thought I could just, straight up hand to hand him.
How'd that go?
It shot me because he has the gun at first.
Okay.
So
I didn't.
At first, I was like, okay. He turned around. He didn't see me.
I thought David was dead. After you got done knifing him and you go back to Joel.
Yeah.
You go back to Joel. I thought that David was dead. I was like, oh, so now I gotta go save Ellie from the burning building.
Nope. It turns out I have to crawl towards a machete, and if you don't crawl fast enough, he fucking kills you.
Yeah.
Did you figure that out? That if you didn't tap fast enough, he would kill you.
Yeah.
I was like, great, it's a button mashing sequence without me knowing it. It's a quick time event, but they don't show the button. Because you're supposed to like mash the button, or else you die, which I figured out very, very quickly. I thought I had to move the analog.
Yeah.
That's all I did. I was like,
surprised.
I
I
think
thought David was a moron at that point. I was like, you didn't move the machete?
no, he didn't know the machete was.
Oh, he didn't?
No.
I wasn't sure
The
if
machete
he knew.
fell out of his hand,
I wasn't sure if he knew where it went. And
and I wanted to see his head after he fell.
all they showed was the knife handle.
I'm
And
like,
there's
oh my
blood on the
God.
knife handle. I was like,
No,
damn.
Ellie covered in fucking brains and skull bits, and then the knife, and then you just see. Like, I want to see you. I don't know if I want to see his head,
Yeah,
but
there
I'm
is no
here it
head.
is. Yeah, there might not be a head left.
There might be just like this.
It's like a
this
pulpy mass.
Yeah. It's like a soup bowl.
Yeah, just like brains and Nolan North. What's left of Nolan North? But I feel sorry for Troy Baker in a way, because he's got to reach that Nolan North bar now. Nolan North set the bar for like voice actor fame, because most of the time they wouldn't be that famous now. Troy Baker's got to reach that bar to even beat Nolan North.
Like, what's I gonna say? The end of the game.
Okay, let's
You
talk
want
about that a bit.
The end of the game. The whole,
Yes.
when you get into the hospital.
The whole hospital sequence is. What did you?
Did
say?
you get into a point where there was no respawns? I got into this. I had this part where, like, it's like right before you get to the surgeon room, and you have to go through those last few soldiers.
Those last
And
like 8 soldiers.
Yeah, and it tells you, it says there's no respawns from this point. So what does it do? It restarts from the beginning
Oh
of
shit!
the entire
I didn't fuck up.
thing. I died one time.
The first time I killed,
I
I
didn't know
killed
they
everybody.
Used, I didn't know they used Molotovs.
No, not the first time. I meant like the first sequence after Joel shoots that guy. I kill everybody. Just kill everybody. The second time, the second little part, and then there's a third part with the soldiers cart coming in after you kill everybody in that second part, and then I just sprinted. Did you just run?
I did.
I'm like, I'm not gonna deal with this shit. Just fucking sprint it. Like I was picking up something from a locker, and I was like, I heard them like, oh shit, I gotta run. So I barricaded the door and walked in. I'm like, and I saw there's like 10 soldiers in this room. And there's one looking right at the door. So I immediately, like not even just stealthily, just chucked a Molotov at the guy right in the face, and they burned. And all the soldiers walk over. And they go, oh shit. They're like, what happened? Like I didn't hear him scream. But then I threw a nail bomb on the door where the guy patrolled. And he walked over, and then he blew. It was hilarious because I didn't expect this over exaggeration, but he blew. His leg fell off, and then he flew over cover and landed in front of me. I'm like, whoa, that worked. So I went across cover, and then I slowly drew them over to that little dining room place, and kids stabbed them.
Did you shoot the surgeon?
I didn't want to, but I did.
I didn't want to either. Well, I sat there for about 30 seconds,
I
like.
sat there for like a minute. I thought there was going to be an option where I could just melee him.
Well, I wasn't sure. I was sitting there thinking, I thought he was gonna charge me.
Yeah, I don't know what he did, but I wasn't going to take a risk of, there's no respawn from this point out, so walk up to him and get stabbed by a scalpel.
So I just shot him in the forehead.
Yeah,
I even did this. I put my gun up and pointed it at him just to see if he was gonna react to that.
Yeah.
And he didn't, so I shot him.
Yeah, I looked at him and I'm like, you sure you want to do this?
Other doctors, he's an animal! Don't move.
Yeah, I just I'm not going to touch those two. They knew what to do.
Yeah.
Just get out of my way.
And then you take Ellie
And then, the ending of the game. Let me say I respect Naughty Dog now. A lot more than I ever did with Uncharted.
What's that chick's name?
The
leader of the Fireflies.
Marlene or something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I think it's Marlene. Yeah, I think you're right.
Something like that. I
And
don't know. The leader of the Fireflies.
The leader of the
The
Fireflies.
black chick you meet in the beginning of the game.
Yeah. I was like, Joel had such the right reason to kill her.
Yeah, you just come after her.
Yeah, you just come after her anyway.
I
was at the same time I'm mad at Joel. I was like, you just fucked over humanity. And then he lied to her saying that it was like dozens of the same.
I think she
kids.
knew. So she had to know.
What?
Ellie.
That he
She
was
knew
lying.
that he lied.
Oh, about that.
The hesitation was all she needed. Yeah.
But I think reason enough for her to stay with Joel was because he hesitated. He thought about it. He didn't just go, I swear. But he thought about it for a second. Then he goes, I swear. I think that's all I think she knew already that Joel just didn't want her to die.
I don't.
Or
think,
if she even knew.
I don't think she even knew she was gonna die.
I think Joel.
Because in the beginning, he's like, how are they gonna get the virus? I don't know. Take some blood samples.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought they
no,
were gonna
they're
do.
gonna cut open your brain and kill you before they even know you have that cure.
They have to remove the entire virus.
I sided with Joel, even though he's a selfish prick. I get that. I get where they're coming from, that Joel is the selfish. He is. But he's selfish in a way that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
in context,
he didn't want to lose a
wasn't-
daughter figure again.
Let me say, it wasn't the player's choice to make. You're playing as Joel. Joel is the character, you're the player. You're guiding Joel.
Mm-hmm.
Joel's guiding you more like.
Yeah.
That's his decision. That's not on you.
Mm-hmm.
The player's experiencing this.
Yeah.
Joel makes that choice. That's his character.
Which I find, like, at the first I was so mad at Joel. Like, I had that blank.
Yeah, a bit. I was mad at Joel a bit, but then I took a different viewpoint from the other side. And it makes sense.
I was pissed at first, and I beat this game I beat the game, and I stayed up. I played it at 3, and then I didn't get back on it until about 5 or 6. So I played from 6 all the way through, and I thought I would get off somewhere around 2 a.m. in the morning, but the game sucks you in so much that you don't notice time flying by.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up looking at the clock, and it's like 5 in the morning. I was like, well, fuck it. And I went and played it all the way to I beat it I remember the time. It was 7:42 a.m. in the morning. And I beat it. I was like, with that, like, awe look on my face. Because that's not the ending I was suspecting.
And there was a lot of internal conflict in Naughty Dog about the ending, because some of the designers come and said that this ending sucks.
I love it.
And then Neil Druckmann's like, yeah, it doesn't suck. We're sticking with this ending. And I'm like, and I applauded him for that, because he stuck to that ending. He didn't give us the stereotypical whatever ending to an adventure game like you would with Uncharted.
It was
unexpected.
After that 3 hours of sleep, and I woke up with my light being turned on by you, flicking on and off like lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when I came into it. I was like, you know what? That ending is perfect.
Yeah, it may not be what some people wanted, but it's not your ending.
I don't know if that's what people were suspecting, because I think they were suspecting something like,
I thought
in the
Uncharted.
end, I
thought
think they were thinking about something Uncharted ending.
A little bit, yeah. Uncharted's very cheesy action. It's an action movie.
It's an action movie.
It's an action movie.
Uncharted is. If there were cameras and if there was actually filming, like cameras, it would be a game of an action movie.
Yeah, it's really Uncharted is that, but Last of Us is a realistic, gritty look at it.
Yes.
At a story of the story of Joel and Ellie.
No.
Which, by the way, is why it comes back to this. If you're mad about the ending, you're getting mad at a designer's decision, and it's really not your choice on what the ending was going to be. You can't say that. Mass Effect is a different story, because it's a game built by choices. Joel is a set character in a set universe with a set story. You're experiencing his story, not yours. Mm-hmm. It's not what you wanted. Well, guess what? It's what Joel wanted, not you. That's why the ending is perfect the way it is, because that's Joel's ending. Yeah. That's how I pictured it, because he's a father. First and foremost, he's a father and a survivor, right? Oh, yeah. First and foremost, yeah, your clock's off. First and foremost, Joel was a father, right?
Yeah.
And he's built up this relationship, this daughter relationship.
If you see in the part at the dam, and you get to the house, and after you kill all the bandits, he's like, "You're not my daughter." Yeah, and I'm sure as hell ain't your dad.
Yeah. But as the game goes on, especially after the winter season,
yes,
Ellie is now technically his
dog. I think it opened up to him. I was like, anybody who really took care of him that much, even though he was that much of a dick.
Yeah.
Totally cares about him.
Oh yeah, she totally cared. He totally cared about Ellie. There was no doubt. I think even before then, like him kind of telling her that you need to be looking at this stuff.
I think
He was very protective of Ellie before.
I think he did. He just didn't want to show it.
Yeah, you could. There's really subtle clues that he cared about. He was very protective of her. When she's looking at burned bodies, it's like you don't need to be looking at that, and turned her away from it.
Yeah, he's like, I've seen worse. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, you probably have seen worse, haven't you?
Mhm.
I think you saw two of your friends turn.
Yeah, he was very. I think he was concerned and protective about her in a father way before, but not as a father before, as her protector more
Mhm.
like. And now he's a father figure to her, and he's his quote unquote new daughter.
Yeah.
In this new wasteland, he's found his new daughter.
I
Turquoise.
wonder if he. This might sound like strange and stuff, but like he saw something of Sarah in her.
I saw a lot of Sarah.
Yeah, I think
they're very similar.
I think that's why I think that's why he still stayed with her
Mhm.
all the way through that, is because it reminded her.
Okay.
Ellie reminded him of Sam.
Yeah.
Or Sarah.
Sarah.
I don't know why I keep saying Sam. I keep on thinking of the black kid, and why?
I don't know. Well, yeah. So yeah, the ending, not what you wanted, doesn't matter.
Really quick.
They're not gonna change anything, and
Yep.
it's perfect the way it is because Joel made the, in my opinion, in character, the right choice.
Yeah, in his character.
Not exactly what I would, not the extent I would go to save Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
In real life, I might.
Well, you probably would have ended up dead
Exactly.
in real life.
I'm not Joel. But Joel is that character. So it makes sense for him to be very protective, and he doesn't see in Joel's eyes, humanity is not worth saving.
Yeah.
That's the
Well, you
point.
think about it. I mean, like, you get this vaccine. I mean, there's going to be a huge war. Fireflies, the hunters, and then the military.
There's going to be a fight over the vaccine. Think about that. They're going to start a war over who gets the vaccine.
Yeah. And the
Just
fireflies will probably try and
The
sell.
fireflies are probably going to control the vaccine, but the military doesn't like that because the fireflies and military are fighting each other.
Yeah.
The hunters don't like anybody.
Survival of the fittest, Darwinism.
Darwinism, yeah. So yeah, I always thought they were kind of a symbol of Darwinism. I
which-
thought I saw Darwinism in the hunters too.
Well, here's what I thought. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, in a moment where really it is survival of the fittest, I mean, they had all the rights to do that. I mean, now granted going around...
to the extent
I mean,
of
granted, of just
down
killing anybody just because they're there is a little harsh. But I mean, like, their idea of survival of the fittest
makes sense in
makes
that
sense
setting.
in apocalypse.
Yeah, in that
Well-
setting it makes sense. But
Mhm.
that still doesn't justify them gunning down innocent civilians. at
Like
all.
with that 50 cal, where
Yeah, for some reason, just because you overpower people doesn't mean you have the right to kill them.
yeah, I mean, like,
That's where the
the two-
hunter gets.
the
That's
two-
where
the two
that's where
guys-
their philosophy
you
gets
see
kind
that?
of confused.
Did
Yeah.
you see that? Like in the first part, you open up the garage, all those bodies.
Yeah.
In there, and did you get the note from the one person? They were trapped in there for like days.
Yeah.
They just left them in there, and that's where they died.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of side stuff in The Last of Us as well. Not just there's a lot of really, really crucial, not crucial, but really, really, really interesting side stories. You can pick up through picking up notes.
Can you give the notes of because you know how Henry was waiting for survivors, and you find a
I don't
note.
know. I don't think so.
Okay, because you find a note in the hotel talking about how they were ambushed and all their people got scattered.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think so. 'Cause we all picked up that note.
Yeah.
I picked up the note. I never got an option to give it to him.
Okay. I don't even remember getting an option to give anybody anything, but
If you pick up the note from Bill's partner, you can give it to Bill before you
Okay.
push the truck.
okay.
When he's sitting on the front of the truck asking
Was
you where
that
to
not
go.
easy? The truck part. I mean, my lord.
I thought it was gonna be hard,
Yeah,
but I had a
did too.
shotgun.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
I don't need to
clickers.
aim.
Clickers. I mean, they come running at you really like they don't sprint at you, but they.
So
come
what
at
you do is
pretty
you take
quick.
out the clicker and then worry about everything else.
Yeah, the clicker is your number one worry. If it's
Yeah.
not your number one worry, man,
And
you're
then once you get the
you're
truck
going to
started-
die a lot.
Yeah, and it was a fairly easy sequence.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's
Yeah, but
Overall.
not an easy game.
No.
Not
No.
in any sense of the word. It's not easy. Even on I'm pretty sure if you put on normal, you're gonna have some trouble with it still.
Yeah.
There's some parts where it's just you're bound to have trouble, and on hard, I'm playing on hard right now, and
Dakota beat it on hard.
I'm having hard. I'm playing on hard, but it's not really hit me yet because I'm still very early in the game. I just got past Bill's part. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just got past.
You gotta play Survivor.
No, I think that's way too much. Taking
I think
away.
I'll watch someone play Survivor.
Yeah, I don't think I'll do that either because I don't want to watch the game. I can't. I can't. I don't know why. I have trouble watching people play The Last of Us now because after
I never
played
watched anybody do it.
I've tried, like watching someone play, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. I have the game. I'm just gonna go play it.
One of our friends, for some reason, just watching people play Bioshock Infinite.
I know.
And all that.
It's because she doesn't. It's because they don't own an Xbox or anything.
Anything?
They own a PC and a PS3. I'm pretty sure. No, not a PS3. A Xbox.
Oh, just a regular Xbox?
Yeah, and not everyone can buy those games. That's why those playthroughs are there. Hell, Bioshock's not exactly a choice-oriented game.
$40.
It's also not a very choice-oriented game, so you're gonna get the same thing whether or not you choose.
But there's still so much to do in that game.
Yeah, so you'll watch someone who does everything.
Or I just play the game.
Well, if you have the time and you don't have the money, doesn't make sense. Some people do that, and I understand where they're coming from. But yeah, The Last of Us. Okay, I want to get into something else a little bit because of we covered mostly everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get I want to ask you of this seventh console generation that's passing right now.
So our console generation.
The seventh one, technically. Out of all there's been a few games. There are games in this console generation that define it. You know, if you talk about this console generation, there's games you talk about. Is Last of Us one of those games?
Yes, absolutely.
Well,
I'm sorry for people who only play Xbox. I mean, I'm not gonna get into this whole console war thing because I don't really care. I don't give a shit.
If you own both, how can you say that?
Yeah, but I don't really care. Either way, I still don't care if I have.
They
both.
have their ups and downs.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But granted, it is an amazing game. I mean, everything about it, everything about it. I can't say it's completely perfect.
Mhm.
Because if I was saying it's a perfect game, then I'd be lying out of my ass.
Yeah, it's not a perfect game in the sense. Okay, a 10 in my book doesn't mean perfect. It means it got everything it does right. And if so what that the AI doesn't react to your partner.
Do people really get mad at that?
It's a design decision. I don't know if people got mad at it, but I know there's probably some people.
You think
There's
about
always
it,
somebody gets mad at something.
I'm gonna say, if you think about it, Bioshock did that. Your AI,
Never gets shot, I know.
yeah,
But
they never care about him.
yeah, that's what I mean. But yeah, there's some very questionable decisions about combat and gameplay,
Mhm.
but those don't detract from the overall experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's got so many 10s.
Yeah.
Because you play the game,
I get
you finish it, and you're like, it's 10.
I give the game a 10.
Just cause there's a few there's a few cutscene bugs with me.
Yeah, I had a couple of those too.
Yeah, there's a couple of cutscenes where my characters just start
But
moving.
I think they had a 70 megabyte update.
I'm pretty sure that fixed most of it.
So I'm sure that might have fixed some of them, and I know some of it was for the multiplayer.
So
which-
either way,
We're not getting into multiplayer.
no, I don't want to multiplayer.
Yeah.
That's not what The Last of Us is about.
No.
You don't remember The Last of Us in multiplayer.
Yeah.
But
Our friend will.
some people who don't know how to play a game.
Yeah, that are just online players.
Okay, no one in particular.
I'm not
Well,
naming names.
I'm not talking about anyone individual, but yeah. So, okay, what would you group The Last of Us in? Like, what game would you group in the category of The Last of Us? Like, of this last generation, there's these games that define the console generation. I'd throw a few. There's gotta be a few titles you gotta think of, like that define the generation.
This might sound really dumb.
Gears.
No.
I'd put Gears in there.
Gears would be great.
I'll put Gears.
They had one in the third one. They had like one character death besides your dad, and actually I felt more bad for Dom. Or yeah, was it
Dom was the one that died.
Yeah, Dom. Then
Spoilers for Gears of War
when
3.
your dad died, I was like, no, Dom.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, Dad died.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, for some reason,
Yeah.
even I felt like Marcus.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna say that Gears is Gears was a lot of.
Even all three of those games actually have to go in that category.
I'm excited to say Gears of War in general because I don't remember Gears for the story. Obviously, I remember for how
Being a
well
game,
I remember
being just a great game.
I remember just being great. You know, the
Third person.
gameplay is just great.
They mastered the third person shooter.
They did.
Um,
they're the best third person shooter out right now.
another
Is
game-
Gears 3.
Another game that I'm actually going to throw in there that I don't know if you're going to agree with.
Assassin's Creed 3.
No. Grand Theft Auto 4.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Just because anybody who had this generation console might have not owned it, but today, even now, is still being sold in mass quantities.
Yep.
It's a great game.
I'd probably throw a. I don't know if I'd throw New Vegas in there. I'd throw Fallout 3 in there for sure.
Yeah, Fallout 3.
Because Bethesda now cemented itself as the masters of the open world role playing game
Yes.
with Elder Scrolls and
Yeah.
Fallout.
Jesus
So
Christ.
they've mastered the open world RPGs. There's no doubt.
I know another game that you should.
I'd throw Mass Effect. in
I know
there.
another game that you should. Mass Effect.
I was going to talk
about Mass
I'd
Effect.
say that just because of how stories are told in games now across 3 games, that is something that has never been done before, and it probably won't be done until.
Yeah,
it's not going to be done until the next console generation.
I totally thought that Mass Effect. Yeah.
Think about how that character arc continues through 3 games, and you import all the decisions you made, like form this character and the story tailored to your decisions.
Yeah, Taylor.
That's something that
like
hasn't been done.
Every game, from the first one to the second one, from the second one to the third one.
Yeah,
and then
it carries
affects your ending.
It all carries over.
Yeah. So I mean, really, if you just bought the third one and didn't play the first or second one, you're missing out.
out on a lot.
You're missing out on a ton of stuff. Even though I haven't played the game,
which you totally should.
yeah.
We own all 3 of them for both systems.
Yeah, we own all 3. Yeah, he got me the Master Collection for my PS3.
Let's say we own all 3 of them for all both systems. There's no reason we shouldn't play it.
Yeah.
But I throw the trilogy in there because you can't throw just Mass Effect 1 in there, right? You can't just throw that in there because Mass Effect 2 was a better game than Mass Effect 1.
I'm trying to think of other games.
BioShock.
Oh my god.
The first one and Infinite.
Yeah, the second one was pretty good.
I'd say second one more for its
I'm
combat.
going to say the second one.
I like the second one.
I'm going to say the second one's close, but it's not in there.
The second one is more of a technically it's more good. It's as in the technical aspect of it's good. The combat is way better than the first Infinite.
Yeah.
You play that combat, that's more streamlined. It's BioShock's combat, that's its peak. You know, Infinite was kind of combat wise wasn't that great.
No,
it was
the
fun.
sky rails were a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it was fun, but it wasn't. BioShock 2's gameplay was much better than any of them.
And BioShock,
but story wise, it's no. BioShock 1 and Infinite are definitely in there.
Infinite was kind of like a mind blowing.
I'd say Assassin's Creed 2, because that's the peak of the franchise.
Assassin's Creed 1 was really good.
But the second one was where it all came together. And I don't know how they did it. They peaked with the second game, and now they're on a steady decline. Brotherhood was good. Revelations was decently good.
And then
3 was a huge glitchy piece of crap.
the first time I played that game, I was playing with him. We went out and rented it. We even went to his house to get his system. Because all we were, like Assassin's Creed. Oh my god, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, everyone was excited for 3.
Yeah. And this is before I read the review. And the first thing we're doing, we're walking off the harbor after. I think you're still your dad, and you're walking through the harbor, and we're like, wow, look at the scenery, everything's great. Look at all the people.
3 hours later, wow, look at the scenery.
No, the scenery. Look at the people are all interacting. I mean, this game looks great. I was like, yeah, look at that pig who just walked through the table.
Yeah, it's a really, really, and people told me it was good. No doubt, it's a good game, but it's just not up there with 2.
I think they needed more work, and even their trailers were bullshit.
And
they had that scene where you you run out there and you get behind a rock and they fire and you keep running. It's not like that.
I'd say the second one more than any of them.
Because I watched.
I started with the second
You
one.
can watch IGN. I think it's IGN. They play that part. They just play that part just to show up on how fucked up the trailer was.
Yeah.
From the game.
Oh, did you see Angry Joe's review of the game? It's even better because there's the whole battle sequence at the end, and he's like, "I'm gonna do the trailer shot." You know?
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm gonna run up and try and tip the trailer shot," and he gets immediately blown up. Like trying to run through the middle of the battlefield and dodge cannon shots and shit.
Yeah.
Like in the trailer.
It doesn't work.
He doesn't do that.
I
Why can't I charge the enemy lines?
Explain
I'm a
it.
fucking assassin.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Jesus Christ. For some reason, the trailer made it more than what it actually
set it up for
was.
failure.
Yeah, it was it was one of those games where could make a really good trailer,
It would have been.
but couldn't make a fucking action scene.
Yeah, they set themselves up for failure with 3,
Yeah,
but 2, in my opinion, was the best of the franchise.
And now
And
they're
I think it's unanimous that
and
it is.
and don't they? And,
So
and,
I'd say Assassin's Creed 2.
and 1 year fucking later,
Yeah.
they're making a 4.
Yeah, they've been working on that game for longer than a year.
Yeah, well, the game's supposed to be pretty big. It's supposed to be a big game.
We'll see. We'll talk. We'll see more of that.
Yeah,
as
I'm
it-
saying,
as time
Assassin's
goes on,
Creed
so.
3. I mean, the first intro, what, 6 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even before you get to play as your brother or
It's a very long time.
6 hours.
I don't know if it's 6. I think that was an exaggeration by
Yeah.
somebody. It might be like 3,
Yeah, I think it's 3.
but 3 is still.
I was
very
sitting
long
there thinking, I was
intro.
like, 6? Where the hell did I get 6 from?
It's like 3. It
Yeah.
might be like.
I'm
3.
sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Whenever I said 6, I meant 3 all the way through. I don't know where I got 6 from. I think I was
Either
just
way.
a little mad about
We're
that.
exaggerating about the
Yeah.
extended opening. So, yeah. Well, another game. What do you think? So GTA 4, Assassin's Creed 2, BioShock, Infinite, and 1.
Uh,
You skip over 2.
uh,
It's kind of the bastard child. of
basically
both of them.
Bethesda.
Everything Bethesda did for
And
everything.
BioWare, Mass Effect.
Mass Effect, Gears.
Heavy Rain?
I feel like I'm missing something there.
Heavy Rain?
Maybe.
I feel like Heavy Rain needs to be in that category.
It kind of goes with that tailored to your decisions kind of thing with Mass Effect.
Yeah.
So,
But it's really good.
it is a very good game.
It's very
And I'm
well
excited for Beyond.
storytelling.
I'm excited. I think we're kind of discussing the generation games too early.
Yeah.
I think we started the conversation too early because
Yeah.
the console generation's not over yet.
It's not.
We
We
still
still got.
got-
5 more years.
We still got major releases for the PS3.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
And
looking
Xbox.
forward to Watch Dogs. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
so we still got major releases for this generation. So that are just for this generation of consoles.
Yeah.
Not until
No,
when they're both been released for both. But
no, just for like the last 9 minutes, I want to talk about DLC. I mean, what do you think the DLC content? I mean, like, what do you think they could add to this?
I think they're gonna. I'm almost positive they're gonna do something with Ish.
Yeah,
The story,
they should.
Ish is probably gonna be a character.
If
in
anybody
DLC.
didn't, if
And I
anybody
heard
didn't
there's
manage
some,
to figure out who Ish was, he's the guy who ran the sewer people.
He kind of ran like a little
That
colony in the
civilization and the
sewers.
sewers that you go through. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's him. He
Like,
ran.
he
that
ran Ish. He's still
with
alive.
Kyle.
He's still alive.
Yeah,
Well, we
Ish-
assume he is.
Well, yeah, because there's nothing saying that he died. He did make it out.
Yeah. So, and then there were some files and a concept art of a dog companion. So there might be a DLC where you have a dog or something.
You find it.
Like,
What was the
it's-
2 dogs in there? What was the 2 dogs when you get out of
like
the
a
sewers?
dog companion or something.
Yeah,
There might be something like that. There's
I want to see the 20 years.
something like that. Maybe not exactly after Sarah died, but somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I like.
Like what I want to know when Joel like what did he do?
I want to like.
in
Let's say
between.
like a year after
Like him and-
Sarah's death,
Maybe
because the
because
outbreak.
he's over it, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, like
I don't want to see
in
tired,
the
depressed Joel.
intro thing. All you hear is like news people talking about what's happening.
Yeah.
You don't see what's happening.
I don't want to direct that Sarah died because that's when Joel's gonna be in the goth emo state.
Yeah, I
of
think
dying,
a year. I
of
think a
death.
year.
I think a year's good because he has time to get over it.
Yeah.
And he starts
So that 19-year
when he meets. So I want to see what happened between him and Tommy. You know,
Tommy,
him
him and Billy or Bill.
him and like the interactions between him and Bill when they first met. How Tommy and him had a falling out, and then him and Tess met, and they started up the smuggling business.
Yeah,
and
and there maybe that, and if there is a relationship,
I want to see them establishing themselves.
Yeah,
Like we kind of just jump into it in The Last of Us. I want to see the setup to this.
yeah.
Maybe
I mean, I don't think Joel automatically became this amazing survivor. I think he learned from mistakes that he made in that span.
Yeah,
of
there
20
might be
years.
some characters we don't know about.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, Jesus Christ, you could have met Ish.
Yeah, we could have met Ish at one time.
Yeah,
But
you never know.
It's possible. So I think it's gonna be really cool. I think whatever DLC they have planned is gonna be really cool.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go and get. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get a season pass.
Yeah, it makes sense. You own the game, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, free DLC.
Well, it's not free.
Well, you pay for the season pass, then you get all the
it's
DLC.
$30 for a season pass.
Then you
I
get
think.
all the DLC.
Yeah,
That makes sense. To
which
get it.
I think
This
that
is $30 just one.
30. No, season pass comes with all.
No, you pay $30 once and you get all the DLC.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if that means there's gonna be two $15 DLCs or if there's gonna be three $10 DLCs.
It might.
Or
I mean,
Jesus Christ, there could be six $5
yeah,
DLCs.
there's a lot of both. So right now, me and you. Okay, so we're on a good track this year. We both played two of the biggest. We played two of the biggest games of the year so
Yeah,
far.
we still got what to go.
We've got Beyond. We've got Watch Dogs. We've got
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Injustice. Injustice is one of them too.
Yeah, I still haven't played that. I gotta get to it.
We have it.
Yeah, well,
so-
we don't have it. We're borrowing.
We have it with us.
Well,
so-
we also got to get Grand
I'm not
Theft
done
Auto
with
5.
yet. GTA 5. There's a few others that we have
Yeah.
to play this year. Dead Island Riptide is something I don't need to play.
I'm not. That's
So,
not my
yeah.
thing.
Anyway, that's a different story.
Yeah,
That's a
and
different
if
story.
I want to play Dead Island, I'll go play
So-
Dead Island.
So final thoughts on Last of Us.
Final thoughts. Overall, great game. I mean, the bugs in the cutscene.
There's a few bugs.
Few bugs in the cutscene, and occasionally, sometimes the combat, like you were having problems with the combat. It was
Yeah.
very. What was
It
the
was
word?
rough. I was just gonna say it's
Yeah, it was
inconsistent. That was the word.
Inconsistent. It was inconsistent at times, but I mean, besides that, I mean,
You can overlook it. That's what
it was a great game. To me, because my experience, I didn't have his combat problems, so I'm giving it a 10.
Yeah.
Out of 10.
Final thoughts on The Last of Us. It's probably one of the. It's hard to say this right now because it hasn't been long since I played it. Like I might be just
I
a few
think it's
days
the
after.
best game I've ever. One of the best games.
It's one of the best games I've ever played for
Yes.
sure, and I'm gonna say it's probably in the top 3 best stories I've ever seen in a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd say The Walking Dead's up there with it.
Oh my god, that
Like
was.
that and The Walking Dead are in the same category. That's how good
We
it is.
didn't add that to our consoles, but did that technically count?
No, it was a retail release. It wasn't
Yeah.
a retail release
It
until
was
later.
PC.
No, it wasn't retail. As in, it wasn't a solid. It was downloadable. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying it was PC at first.
No, it
Before it
wasn't.
came.
Walking Dead? No, it was all everything.
I still think it was console generation.
It's a constant generation thing, yeah. But I'd say The Walking Dead is good. So we'll add The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So I've seen it and The Walking Dead are probably this generation's best stories. Like you look back at the greatest stories of this generation are both The Walking Dead and Last of Us, and maybe Mass Effect. It might make it in there, but right now, Last of Us is probably one of the best games I've ever played. It's probably in my top 3.
Yeah.
So, well, thanks for listening, and if you feel the same way, tell us.
Because
I wanna know.
Still going. It's still $60 now.
Well, it hasn't been that long.
Yeah,
It's been like a week.
Just so I mean, if you're listening to this and you haven't played the game, I'm going to punch you in the face with the comments.
Just play it.
Yeah,
It's one of those things you have to
even if
experience.
you can't afford it, find a friend who has it. Because if you have a PlayStation 3 and you haven't played this game, you're missing out massively.
And if you played Uncharted before, you know that Naughty Dog did a good job. So, anyway, just thanks for listening. If you liked the game, didn't like the game, I'd like to hear everyone's opinion. I'd like to hear both sides of the argument.
Yeah.
So,
Comments.
yes, comments, like, subscribe. You know the deal. So, anybody, so you got, go play more Last of Us if you haven't, go do it already.
Yep.
See you guys later.
Peace.